In this video, we are going to look into how we utilize set actions to create a dynamic reference band. Let's assume you have a monthly trend of sales and you want to highlight the region between two selected months in some particular fashion and would like to know about the KPIs such as maximum sales within that month, average sales within that month, and the minimum sales within that month. So we'll be trying to achieve this using set actions. The first thing that we need to do is create a monthly trend line. We can do that by dragging the order date to the columns and dragging sales into the rows, and right click on the orders and select continuous month. Now, the problem with this is that once you bring this order date into columns, by default it comes into a EF format. So we need to create a custom date that is only months. So to do that, what we can do is right click on orders date, go to create and select custom date. Now once I've selected custom date, let's name it as month, and I'll be keeping in the detail as months and date value. Click on OK. Now let's go to second sheet and bring months into the rows. Now you see when you bring this month, it does not default to year. It is in the month date part. Now you can see all the months that are there in the data sets are highlighted with a single month. So that's the field that we will be using to create a trend line. So let's remove this order date from here and bring in our created month field. So this is how the trend line looks for the monthly sales. Now our goal is to create a set action such that whenever we hover over any point, for example, if I hover across these points, I want all these months to be highlighted with a reference band. So to do that, first of all, we need to create a set using the calculated field month. So we right click on the month, go to create and then click on set. And over here, let's name it as months selected. Let's select a couple of months over here and then click on OK. So now if you see, we have created a month set, and if I go to another sheet and bring in the months into the filter and then again this month into the column, so you see out of all the 48 months that we had initially, we have only 25 months. So these are currently inside the set. So the next that we need to do is create a reference line. So for reference line, we need two things. The first is the minimum and the second thing would be the maximum. So the minimum and the maximum we are going to identify using the sets that we have created. Now to identify the minimum and the maximum month within this set, we need to have a calculated field. So let's see how do we do that. I'll create a calculated field and I'll say it as minimum month, and over here I'll say max of if month selected then month end. Sorry, it's a min, so yeah, min. And then I'll be closing my curly braces, and this is the calculation for the minimum month across the set that we have created. So let's click on OK. Similarly, we'll be trying to create a calculated field for maximum months. To do that, we'll simply duplicate this field and go to edit, and we'll change the name to max month, and over here instead of minimum I'll be selecting maximum. Now I click on OK. So now you see we have 2 months selected, the two calculated field created, the max months and the min month. So let's see if these calculated fields are actually working or not. So if I go to my next the sheet where I have created this brought in the set and the months, I see that the minimum month is January 2011 and the maximum month is January 2013. Let's see if this works or not. So I'll bring max months onto the text and I'll change it to month. I see the maximum month is January 2013, which is the same, which is matching with our set. Similarly, if we want to see the minimum 1 month, we can bring it to the text mark again and then change the granularity to month and we see it's January 2011. So now we see that the calculation for minimum and the maximum are working with respect to this particular set. The next thing that we are going to do is create a reference band using this minimum and maximum month. To create a reference band, we need to go to the analytics section of this pane and then drag in the reference band into our visualization. So we need to place it onto the months because we are creating reference band for month. So we'll drag it over here, and in the whenever you create a reference band, it always asks you from where do you want to start the reference band, that is this particular section, and where do you want to end the reference band, which is this particular section. So over here I'll okay, so before that, to use these two calculated field into my reference band, I need to bring it into the detail marks. So I'll bring both max and min into the detail marks, and I'll be selecting exact dates. For this again, I'll be selecting exact dates. Now once we have brought it into the detail marks, we can use it into our reference band. So let's try to bring in, okay, so we already have the reference band. I'll go to the reference band and click on edit, and over here in the from I'll be choosing min month, and for it will be minimum. Label, let's keep the label as value, okay, and tooltip I'll be keeping as none. Similarly in this I'll be using max month. For this it will be again a minimum. In the label I'll again keep it as a value, and tooltip let's keep it as none. In the formatting, let's try to highlight the area between these two bands using a line, a dotted line, and I'll use a fill, little shade of gray here, and then I'll click on OK. So now once you click on OK, you see that the area that you had selected, so the months that are already in our set, using that we have been able to create a reference band. So let me quickly format it and remove the grid lines so that this looks bit okay. I'll go to the rows, remove the grid lines, and I'll just highlight in the axis rulers. Fine. Yes, so there we are. So now we can see that the region that we had in our set has been highlighted using a reference band. So the next step that we are going to do is make this reference band dynamic. By dynamic, what I mean, if I select any region, for example, if I select this region, the reference band should switch to these particular region from this thing. So to do that, we'll be utilizing the set actions. So we go to worksheet and then click on actions. I'll add a set action, which is a change set values, and over here I'll name it as change months. In the source sheet, I'll be selecting orders global superstore as the data set. I'll remove all these selection because my trend line is in sheet 1, and in the target set I'll be selecting month selected. Now when I remove clear the selection, I want this to be up to keep the set values which we have selected. So for that I'll be selecting this option, and then I'll be clicking OK, and then again on OK. So now once you have created a set action, if you drag in any of these views, so for example if I select these particular region, you see our reference band has now moved. So this is how you create a reference band using a set action. Any area that you highlight in your trend line would be highlighted with that particular reference band. We can use this use this set actions, the minimum and maximum month calculation that we have created to calculate different KPIs that lie within this reference band. For example, let's say if I am interested in knowing what was the maximum sales within this time frame, or what was the minimum sales within this time frame and the average sales, we need to use these two calculated field for that. So let's try to create a calculation using that as well. So I'll go again to create a calculated field, and I'll say max sales in selected month. Over here I'll say if date trunk month of order date is is greater than equal to my min month and date trunk, month of order date is less than and equal to my max month, then I need to have the sales. So again, after then we again need to write a LOD for this, and this would be fixed, and I'll be using my month field, fixed month, sum of sales, and then end. So now this calculation is valid, and I need to identify the maximum sales for this time period. So I'll be adding a max at the starting. And then I'll close the brackets again, and this particular calculated field would be giving me the maximum sales across the selected months. So let's click on OK and check whether the formula is working or not. So currently, if I go back to my sheet 3, which had the which had the row month selected, I'll now convert it to discrete and then bring in the sales value. So now if you see for this, the maximum value is 405,000. So our calculated field, which is the max yields in selected period, should give us this particular value. Let's check whether it's working. So I'll remove both this and then dragging max sales here. So now you see it's 405,454. It's the same as the maximum in this particular region, this particular range. So similarly, using this calculated field, we'll be creating a calculated field for minimum and average as well. So let's duplicate it 2 times. And first I'll change the first the second one to minimum. Let's go to edit, and then instead of this max, I'll say it as min. Remove this copy, and at the starting, instead of maximum, I'll be doing a minimum. Click on OK. Similarly, the another max field that I had duplicate one, I'll go to this edit, and instead of this maximum, I'll do a average, and in the name of the field as well, I'll change it to average. Okay. So now you have three calculated fields, and your dynamic reference band as well. Let's bring it all onto a dashboard. So I'll quickly create a dashboard. I'll reduce the height a bit. First I'll change the size to fixed size. Increase the width a bit, and just, yeah, this should be fine. So let's bring in our sheets over here. So the first thing would be the trend line that we have. Okay. Now the second thing would be bringing in the three metrics. So to bring in the three metrics, you can either have them in three different calculated fields, or sorry, three different sheets, or in the same sheet. So let's try to have them in the same sheet. So for that, I'll drag measure names to the filter, click on none, and then select three: average, max, and min. Click on OK, and then I'll be bringing measure names onto the columns and measure values onto the rows. So, and there you go. So let's bring it to the text. Yes, and just let's try to fit the width. Make it increase the width a bit, and then format it and make it, align it to. Okay, let's go to the text, align it to the center, and there you go. Okay, so let's bring the sheet again into our dashboard. Okay, so I bring the sheet into our dashboard, remove this title, and I can remove this title as well. Okay, so now let's see if our set action is working or not. I drag this area, and you see the reference band changes, and so does the metric that we have. So in this particular, so from March 2012 to 11 to November 2012, the maximum sales that was recorded was 323,000. Well, the minimum was 145,000, and the average sales during this region during this time frame was 250,000. So this is how you use a set action to create a dynamic reference band, and then use that particular calculated field, the minimum and maximum calculated field, to create KPIs for that particular range. I hope you found this video useful. In case you found this useful, I would like you to subscribe to our channel and follow us. Thanks a lot.